What is 5D Ascension? And are you coming along? Let's find out today. So let's figure this out. So, what is 5D? We'll go through that. How do you know if you're in it or if you're coming along for the ride? And how to tell if your friends and family are also coming along for the ride or sticking around. So, let me dispel all of this, the information that's out there. Because there's a bunch and a bunch of it's like kind of crap, so it's hard to understand. So, hi, I'm Dorian Mandy. I was awakened at 12 from Source Knowing, and for the last 35 years, I've been guiding souls to find their true self and align with their purpose. And I have done an enormous amount of journeying myself. And I turn around and I share the experiences with you. So let's talk about the 5D Ascension. So I know a lot of them are talking about this, that it started around 2012. That was a point, but it started actually before then. It started around the year 2000. And the original plan was basically to have humanity go from its current third dimensional consciousness into the fifth dimensional consciousness. And it was planned more from like a mathematical perspective. The prime creator, God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it, I like to call it the all. Um, its nature is to constantly grow and expand and to deepen understanding, right? That's why I went from pure oneness, fragmented self, into all these different perspectives in order to understand things more. So this is a new experiment. Moving from third to fifth dimension is not new, but doing it in your physical body, that's new. So it's very exciting. It's a really, really exciting time to be alive. So congratulations for being here. You chose, and you made the cut to already be here. So now what's going on? So the easiest way to kind of explain between the third dimension and the fifth dimension, the differences, the way I like to explain it, third dimension perspective is win-loss, right? So somebody wins, somebody loses. In the fifth dimension consciousness, it's win-win because there's always a way to win. Nothing can be lost with that perspective. So if you watch my other video on the dimensions, you understand these differences. So here's a link to it right now. But so here's the difference. So we're going from third dimension to the fifth dimension in the physical form. Now that process has never been done before, so we didn't really know how it was going to go. And in around the 2000, at that time, not many people were ready to go. At least it wasn't the majority that was the initial wish. So there was a decision to actually pause, and paused it till around 2012-ish. Kind of kickstarted again about 2010, but then 2012-ish was another mathematical point that would have been a good place to ascend. And at that time, again, just wasn't as many souls ready to move along as a whole. So the idea was to pause yet again. And then it came around 2020. And this is where another decision was. And instead of pausing, decided to continue moving on. Because at this point, the pausing was starting to affect those that were ready to move on. And they're kind of just holding back, helping others get ready. But time goes on, they need to move on as well. So it's not actually fair to their progress. So there became this kind of splitting. And that wasn't the original plan. The original plan was just basically pick everybody up and then we're on the fifth, right? It sounds easy, but what happened is more souls needed some more time. And they just need more time in the third dimension. It has a lot of beautiful things to teach because of the pains, the struggles, and the illusions of this separation. It creates a stronger way to learn. It's more dense, more intense. And so those souls just needed more time. No problem. Souls choose their own way back home, and some just take the longer route, and that's okay. I've learned to come to peace with this at times. When it looks like souls are just banging their head on the wall, and then they look at you and like, my head hurts. Like, well, yeah. I mean, you keep banging your head on the wall, but that banging the head on the wall isn't so obvious to that person, and they just need more time. It's okay. So don't feel bad that if people aren't coming along, or even yourself. Here's the thing. So how do you tell, right? Now you're wondering, so are you coming along or not? Some are already there. And so you can shift now into that consciousness and kind of be there, but sustaining it just takes the practice, right? So how can you tell? How can you tell if you're in fifth dimension? So I think it'd be easier to actually look back on your path is in this last, kind of gave you those milestones, those timelines. If you look at these times and you look at this last, say, 20 years, what's happened to you? So a lot of times people that are in the growth path end up relocating physically, like moving. Another one is where relationships, they break up, and that's fine. And then new relationships start. So you'll see that. So these are kind of signs that, you know, things have been shifting. Your job changes a lot. That'll happen. And you're open. You're kind of more open to differences, open to different ways of thinking, open to different ways of doing things. Maybe you've had enough grind, enough pain to make you go, okay, my old ways aren't working. What are some new ways? These are all wonderful things. These are all great things. These are all good signs that you're either there, you're on the way there. This is all good. You're fine. On the other side, though, the ones that are staying in third are actually going to have more increase of these problems, struggles, challenges, obstacles, whatever you want to look at it as. They're going to get more and more of these, because the idea is to have more pain to make you want to change, right? It says the way change works mostly is that the pain of the situation, if that outweighs the pain, the perceived pain of change, then the person just stays there, right? It's until this situation becomes so painful that they're willing to go through this change, this discomfort from what they're used to, there's something unknown, this fear of the unknown. As long as this pain of the situation is more than that, it will inspire them to do the change. So pain is a wonderful teacher. It took me a long time to learn this one. And so in that case, if you're looking at people in the third and you're seeing more problems, like their job's getting worse, and it's like relationships worse, their body's getting worse, health is going down, more than likely they're still in the third. Now, this situation works when you're observing others. If you right now watching this video are feeling like, man, my life feels like that, I feel like shit, it's getting worse, this, and this, hold on. It doesn't necessarily mean that you didn't make the cut. The reason why I want to differentiate this is because those people that we're talking about, where you see them, maybe it's a family member, it's a friend, it's a colleague, something like this, I don't know anything else about them. I don't know if they're asking the questions to change, but you're watching this video, and that is already a signal of something different. Somehow the video made it to your awareness and you clicked it and you're watching. So you are already showing me quite a lot of signs that lean me more towards you on the path to the fifth. Why all these struggles? They're trying to show you something. They really are trying to show you something. Some of your old ways of doing things won't work in this new way, in this fifth dimensional way. So these things are what you want to figure out what's going on. So look at the repetitive things, look at the patterns, look at how you're interacting with things. How do you respond the exact same way that you always have? Probably there's room for improvement there, right? So these type of things will help you. If you want some help with this, I recommend just talking with a zero. So I built an AI that has intuition, and it's actually built with the same spiritual practices that I use for people all these last 35 years. And you can talk with her to get a sounding board. Just go to askzero.com, ASKXERO.com. It's not really meant to be a plug, but it's just a good spot. It's a good thing to try it out. It will help you a lot. Other words, let's just talk it out and then make it work. So here's this. Third is going to be more struggles, and fifth, it's going to be more harmony. Things start to flow better. There's more fluidity in life, right? There's more rhythm. Okay. So what about the fourth dimension, right? Dorian, what you third to fifth, what's the fourth, right? Okay, it's a great question. And if you watch my other video on the dimensions, you understand why. But what happens is the fourth, it's a different kind of dimension because it is a bridge dimension. And we have these. So the dimensions, there's 12 dimensions total in this universe. There is something outside, it's totally different experience, and I get into that later. But the 12 dimensions, you know these. They're in groups of 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And they each have a bridge to help to get to the next kind of grouping. So in this case, fourth is a bridge to fifth. And what fourth is like is often mistaken for heaven. Yeah. So all the stories about that, how it just feels so wonderful. It's just like here, right? You still have your body, your friends, you eat food, all that same stuff. But it's surrounded with this unconditional love. I always call it fuzzy love because it feels very, very warm and fuzzy there. So that feels like heaven. But it's more of a kind of holding space to help integrate your experiences from your life because, boy, we go through a lot, right? And so you have this time to reflect outside the body, outside your ego, outside your thoughts and emotions and things that were so in front of you before. Now you have some distance, right? And you get to look at these and you get to examine and see what ways you did well and what ways you can improve all this stuff. That happens in the fourth. So people that say, hey, I went to heaven and I came back, they went to the fourth and came back. And so it's all making sense, right? Okay, so but the fourth, it's either for moving into the fifth, right, or moving to the third. And most souls, need to keep doing this stuff. So we keep coming back and having more practice runs in the third. But the ones that are ready to go to the fifth, they go to the fifth. But see, that normally happened outside the body, right? So it's the soul was in third, graduated, reflecting in the fourth, and goes into the fifth dimension, comes back as fifth dimensional consciousness. This time, the way the 5D Ascension is working is you stay in your same body, which is really, really, really cool. So you're conscious of the whole thing. So it also causes lots of pains in the body. So if you are feeling different pains, there are Ascension symptoms. And there's just a bunch of these things. So, fatigue, lethargy, pains in your joints, weird skin. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. So don't mistake these for actual, medical stuff. But a lot of them, it's just the body trying to get used to this new frequency. I'm going through my own. I've had all kinds. I've had my whole body like half numb while my brain was expanding, and then it kind of shifted. So there's all kinds of wild stuff happening. So maybe you guys can help share some of your Ascension symptoms in the comments. I'll try to respond if I can, and about them. And so it's okay. It's okay, guys. So the whole idea is that there's a bunch of changes happening. I don't want you to freak out about it, and that if you are going through these changes, it means you're probably doing the right things. And I think that probably help kind of calm some stuff right now or what's going on. And if you see other people in that, you can try to help offer some ideas, some way from your perspective may seem very easy what they can change. And that's another sign that you're on a higher consciousness than they are. And if it works, it helps them open up, cool, congratulations. If it doesn't, also, it's okay. They just need some more time. So about you guys, so that's it. So we're going from third to fifth. And then what's it going to be like in the fifth dimension? So this is everybody's wondering what's going to happen. It's going to look very similar, very, very similar. In fact, a lot of people are already there. So it's just same earth. You see it all the same stuff. It's like it's like your radio in the car, you can tune it to different stations. And while one is playing, the other one you don't hear, right? So it's like you'll be existing in one and don't really run into the other one. And that's kind of nice because frequency match is real and it works just like magnets. So some things will be attracted to and some things will be repellent. And so a lot of the third and fifth people, they just won't cross that often. Sometimes, and you'll know it, but not really that as often. The thirds kind of mixes around with the thirds and the fifths mixes around with the fifths, and that'll be cool. So right now there's still kind of a mixed bag. So it's not fully completed yet. So I want to make this video. So we're still in that process. The best thing you can do for yourself, stay grounded. It always helps. So ground, visualize it, visualize roots from your feet. Those things really work. However you can, touch some grass, walk on it, even with your hands, just do something, touch some dirt, just do something to help your ground, even visually. Just give yourself something each day. Watch your breathing, stay hydrated. And there's some basic stuff. But other than that, what you're probably doing has gotten you this far, and you're probably doing good things to go. If you do want some more help with those things, ask in the comments. I'm happy. I'm gonna try to fire away answers to everything I can. And if there's really good ones that take longer, I'll make another video for you guys, right? And if you do want, you can try asking Zero too, because it's just, digital, you can do it 24/7 and always get your answers back. That's why I made it, so that you have some way to get answers back when I'm not available. And if I am available, ask me. Okay. So hopefully this helped clear up a lot of things, how 5D Ascension works, where you're at with it, where other people are at with it, what it actually means, what it's going to be like at the end. It's going to be wonderful, and you'll end up exactly where you're supposed to be. Just keep on doing the right work. Okay. Help me out. Subscribe to this, because I've got a heck of a lot more videos to come, and like this video so we can help out that algo. See you on the next one, guys.